What the hell's that all about? You gonna spin it now?
That's cool. I don't want that.
Welcome, window lickers. And yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Kevin did not change. We have our friend back with us, but let me tell you about Kevin first. He is severely sick, guys. Kevin normally will push things through, but he told me light is hurting his head. So when he tells me that, I go, hey, I got a hot tag. I got to get someone in here. And I went deep into the bag and said, hey, I know a guy who would love to come and talk some wrestling with me. He is a friend of the IYH and me personally. He is Nick Adadaro. Hey, Nick, how are you doing? How goes it, my friend? And I had to do the hands with it.
You had to do a little bit of this,
a little bit of this,
a little bit of this, and a little bit of this. Friend of our show, Tony Cheney, one of my favorite independent wrestlers.
So, Nick, how's it going? How you doing? How's things been?
Doing well. Thank you for having me. You know, it's been a while. Thank you for making the door never forbidden on this show. Always fun chatting with you guys. Yes, as you said, your eyes do not deceive you. Feel better, Kevin. But for today, for at least one night, Kevin got a little bit better looking. So.
There we go. Nick's always there to poke the bear, just get it going. Hey, your show, your podcast that you do with you and your wife, it has been taken off. You guys have been gaining traction. Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. It's doing great. Friday, 6 p.m. Go check it out. I'm usually in the chats. I'm usually a guest that comes in at the end of the show because they have a call-in portion. So before we dive into what we do, Nick, tell us how it is being a podcaster real quick. How's your show doing? Where do you expect anything coming up? What's going on, my friend?
Yeah, man. Thanks again. The Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour. The channel is under my name here, so Nick Teodoro is the actual channel. But I've been doing sports media, sports journalism for 20 years in New Jersey, in the state, in the tri-state area. I actually got to cover WrestleMania 29. So the channel I've had for a while, just never really done anything with. So the last couple of years, my wife, my gorgeous, lovely wife, better half, Nikki, and I told me, she's like, let's do something fun. A couple of years, like, let's do something fun with our time. And we talk wrestling, we BS with wrestling all week long. Let's create our own little show. So Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time is when we have our Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour, because she's Nikki and I'm Nick. So together we're a Nick Club, a club of Nicks. So, but it's really become our group of friends, and from around the world. You're one of them. Come in every Friday and join us and just shoots the shit about wrestling and whatever's on their mind. So all opinions are welcome, and we love to hear about everyone's thoughts. So and it's this podcasting thing has been such a whirlwind, because that's kind of why we did it, is to meet awesome people like you, and again, just discovering your channel. What was it, a year and change ago, when you interviewed the late great Sabu? So it was just kind of a neat thing, and this is pretty awesome.
Wrestling has always been I guess a secret door into certain cool people's worlds. I know when I'm in a crowd of people, if I hear someone or I see somebody wearing a wrestling shirt, I'm like, hey, at least I know I can have a conversation with that person over there. I love this world, and it's cool that, like you said, we get to meet cool people like yourself and Nikki, and all your guys' fans that tune in every week. Steven, the most angelic voice out there. He's a great feature to your show. That's a great guy to have in your fan club. And
He's an awesome guy.
yeah, and you have your overseas friends. You have Reese, who has his own podcast that he's out there doing wrestling. You could go out there, get his cheeky takes. I think that's what they say over there. I don't know. Crumpets, whatever
I think,
they say.
yeah, we'll try to figure out.
But community, that's the key thing. And
Exactly.
you've built a great one out there. They get a lot of great guests on their shows, and even if the guest has never stepped through the rings, the call-ins guest, I'm telling you, you're gonna have a fun time. Join Nick and Nikki. It's a fun time out there. All right, Nick. So let's get to the meat and potatoes of tonight. What we're here for, we're here for Monday Night Raw. We're also here to talk a little war games because I think me and Nick, we have some more conversations we could probably have with what happened out there. And let's get into it, Nick. Let's talk Monday Night Raw. What? Oh, that we're talking Monday Night Raw, and it was an interesting Raw. Let's say that because storyline wise, I enjoyed it. I thought they were pushing certain storylines. They're adding certain things. We're now getting the complete mental meltdown of Jey Uso, and that's where I want to start. Jey Uso, Nick, where are we at with him on your side of the fence of wrestling? I showed emotion at the end of it, but how many times can you not be main event and still call main event?
Well, I think that's the angle of where we're headed with him, right? Is he has to break down to turn heel.
Very true.
And to me, that's they're gonna just keep having him lose. Like we joked about big match John Cena, right? Or big match Dakota Kai.
Yeah.
But it's the same thing. It's like big match Jey Uso, not so big match Jey Uso, right? And that's the thing. He's never like, yeah, he's won the big one once or twice. Like he's won the title, but like his story arc is that he's going to get in these big matches and get all the way, but always be the bridesmaid in this scenario. So I get that's where he's headed. In that interview that he had with Charlie, was it Charlie Caruso? Is that who she is? I always confuse all of them. But exactly, big match Dakota for life. But like that interview that he had, he's got to have that breakdown and a heel, like a heel Jey Uso. It'd give me something more to watch, right? Like I get his entrance was over, but that was the only thing that really was over for me with him in the main event scene.
Okay, so from what you're saying, I can take that you have an interest in this the heel Uso, Jey Uso. I do too. I think it's a new chapter for him. I think it's going to be a fun chapter. Some say the Bloodline was his heel era. I don't really see it that way. For me, the Bloodline was, yes, on paper, are they supposed to be the heels? Most definitely, but they're the most over heels you've ever met in your freaking life.
But he was a henchman in the like that was right hand man, whatever. But like
guilt by association, my friend.
And when he actually had his moment in the sun to be main event Jey Uso when he challenged Roman, then he was a face in that moment. So true. Like, yeah, he never really has had a significant singles run as a heel.
Yeah. And I think that's what, like you said, they're gearing up for. So last question on this one. Do you feel that this was in his storyline to begin with? This is how they were laying it out? Or do you feel that there was some noise in the crowd and maybe to keep the fire going with them, they realized they had to do this heel thing? And so it was not so much of an organic thing. Do you get what I'm saying on this one?
Yes, no, I think everything is played off of like the crowd reaction and when things get stale. True. So like to some extent, you can only do like same thing. Even Cody Rhodes is probably he can only do the baby face for so long. He's admitted in interviews he knows it's coming, the turn's coming, and that's the only way that you keep reinventing yourself. So maybe not at the like as they wrote out the storyline to begin with, but I don't think a lot of what Triple H is writing is beyond a couple of months, maybe one or two big WrestleMania main event storylines, but I think a lot of it is played by ear, month by month, who's hot at the time, especially the world title, the Raw world title scene. Like that was hot potato, regardless of Seth. Like everyone knew Seth Rollins was going to get it eventually, but it seemed very hot potato the last.
No, it did. Like you're saying, I mean, it was just like who gets it next? Who gets it next? Where can we go? And it wasn't like what we're used to, like a well constructed organic thing that is
since
brought
Gunther
to us. Yeah,
and when was it? When Jay took the belt off Gunther, basically, like was that right? Wasn't Jay? Yeah, am I remembering this correctly? Yeah,
I believe it did.
Yeah, so well, I don't know.
I mean, it's interesting. I do like what they're attempting, and I hope it catches fire, because I mean, you can attempt things, but if people can't, and I know you hate this term, but if people can't take their 5 minutes and make something out of it with that, then you're dead. You're dead in the water, my friend. Dead in the water. But I enjoyed where we're at with Jay. I think the meltdown at the end of his loss to LA Knight in this tournament was perfect. I thought they played it perfectly. And then you go in show structure, you go from Jay's meltdown to Asuka just doing crazy backstage shit. And you gotta love it because Bailey's involved.
Oh, yeah.
And how do they not crack when she's doing some of that shit? Her and Kyrie getting in faces and doing this shit like inches away.
Just that scream. Kyrie.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. I love what they're doing there. All right. So we had a big War Games. Connected a lot of this Raw we've seen. We had Liv come back out. She came out with Dom. Dominic Mysterio still being the
honestly top. As you mentioned it, like how much of War Games was Raw oriented? You have the men's War Games team, right, which was 90% division.
Mm-hmm.
Which also, I guess that answers the question too. Of like, I think there was some question of whether or not Logan Paul would be in the Vision long term.
Okay,
I don't know about that. I felt like Logan Paul took the place of Bronson, like, okay, the equivalent of last year's Bronson Reed in the War Games match with the New Bloodline or MFTs, whatever they were at the time. Is Logan Paul was, whether it was injury to Seth Rollins, he was kind of thrown in there as like a mercenary to join the group for the 1 month only. And now I'm quite surprised that he came out with them and he's still with the group at this point, because he doesn't need Heyman as a mouthpiece. He's a great talker by himself.
Very true. Very true. And I love where your mind's at right now, because like on this show, Window Lickers, the Monday Night Raw preview review show, we tend to like start a subject and then somebody says something interesting, we go off of it. I love where your mind's at here. Okay, so Logan Paul, as you said this just popped in my head. What if the guy who jumped the cage was a hired gun of Logan Paul's?
Hold on, let's address this chat.
Oh wait, here we go.
He's 100% a good talker. He talks better than, I would say, 60 to 70% of the roster.
Yeah.
Just everyone's gonna give him crap for that. I feel like that is a setup, because I feel like he's too smart. I was
just gonna say that.
And like The Rock, like all these guys are too smart to know the camera's on you. It's gonna pick it up.
I thought it was going. I'm there with you. I think it's a dig. I think I think he's trying to work somebody, but I understand, Nikki, where you're coming from in this one. Totally understand it. But back to exactly where we're at, Logan Paul. What if it's his hired goon that he always has with him? And what if that's the thing?
So Logan Paul's the hired goon.
No, he
So,
like his in the war games. So
okay.
Logan Paul's a part of that team, right?
Right.
Heyman, let's just say storyline wise, it goes like this. Heyman comes up to him. He's like, you got to make a commitment to the vision. So you got to figure out a way to make sure everything goes in our favor. And Logan Paul's like, oh shit, what do I do? So his little co-host that he has on his little TV show or his little podcast, his YouTube channel, he hires him to come in and do this shit real quick. That's all faced up because if and I liked where you were talking on your show, because if you're going to go with, let's say if it is Jericho that they're playing, that they're writing in for body match, you can't match that body. Like you said on your show, man, when I brought it up, why he is not, Jericho is a different body type than that guy.
Yeah.
So if you put that in there, you're pissing me off. What are you doing?
It's a gimmick that you can't make it somebody like it can't be Omos.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
like
it
everyone
wouldn't
would
work.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or,
exactly. So
like
what
Omos not climbing a cage. Like it's like all this stuff. So like I get what you're getting at, but it has to be like a decent enough reveal. And the other thing about this is like with based off.
I agree with you. I agree with you, Steven. And this is the Steven I said with the angelic voice, ladies and gentlemen. So go check out the chats that he's in. You'll enjoy it, I
The
swear.
hijinks.
The
Yeah.
hijinks.
Get ready to
Yes.
get derailed. Who knows?
But you see what I'm saying though? Why couldn't it be?
Why couldn't it be Jericho?
No, why couldn't it be one of Logan? Why couldn't Logan Paul hired one of his hands, one
No,
of
he
his other
could,
people,
but
and
then it should have been revealed already. Then Heyman wouldn't have denied. Like he should have said, like I did this for you, right? Like Heyman got interrogated theoretically by Pierce on Raw, and he's like, I didn't know who it was. So the idea is one of two things. It's someone trying to prove themselves to get into the vision, or it's someone who has their own initial vendetta against Punk.
yeah.
And to your point, like we talked about already, last week, or last night rather, on our show, is like, yeah, if it's Chris Jericho, he has that best in the world history with Punk in the past, so they could revisit that immediately. And I'm totally down with that. He's already world champion. Like, yeah, it's a decent enough, storyline play. It's a nice lead into it. So I could totally see it, but you can't just make it. There's only a specific set of people that it could be at this point.
Yeah. I could buy Jericho's body type. I can play around in that. My imagination is good enough to be like, okay, I accept it. But I don't want it. That's not what I want.
Well, here's the thing. I don't disagree with you that like it might be anticlimactic, but here's the thing. Now you're at the point where if it's a reveal of Austin Theory, who gives a shit? Like, he's not that big of a name that if you're going to drag this out, like, for instance, like AEW did with the Devil storyline X amount of years ago,
I gotcha. Yeah.
MJF stuff, like, it has to be a big enough payoff. And to me, a returning Austin Theory would be such a letdown that you leave Survivor Series, because if this was that moment, you want to give him that push, have him take off the mask at Survivor Series and join the Vision.
Okay, so that's how you hook them, but they miss that. So Nick, I mean, at the end of the day, you're right.
That's cool. I don't want that.
I mean, that's where you're at, and it's okay because I can see exactly what you're saying. I think this would be a cool if it is Austin Theory. I would have preferred how you said reveal as soon as it's done that you're joining, that's your initiation. But if you took that away from me, so if you reveal that it's Theory, what I can hang my hat on is it would be an interesting dynamic to see him work with those guys as a team. And I think they would build me into a Theory fan.
Agree. But he's going to be here's the kicker on it. I think in that setting of group. Let's say it's Theory.
What's up, Tony G?
What's up? Football player, a tight end. Kansas City?
Yeah. He's
Hall of
back
Famer.
from the grave.
Wait, he didn't die. That
Tony.
guy.
Oh wait, I was thinking of Aaron Hernandez. Never mind.
Wow, he's on
Yeah.
CBS like every Sunday. You killed the
Who
guy off
cares?
already.
Yeah. Oh well,
He's not dead. He's already in your chat.
I give him another year, and he'll be a Mark Sanchez out there just taking
Stabbing people.
Fucking love it. Okay. Do you still have your thought on Theory? Or did we
I just think, no, I do. I honestly think if he comes into that group, his role is primarily as one of the more like the tag team guy of the group, right? If you're going to put him in matches, like he'd be a workhorse, that you'd put him in the mid card at best. So to me, you're going to add that much more to the group. It has to be a bigger reveal, or on like a Raw or a SmackDown, whatever, like a regular weekly show that he gets added to it. Because you already added, right? Didn't Becky got added in the Vision on a PLA, and she was a big, obviously a major name. So like, I don't know.
No, I mean, you're making a lot of sense here. I mean, for what we do weekly, I can see where you're at on that one. I think they did miss the boat. If it is Theory, you missed the boat with the reveal. It would have been a cool thing at the entrance, having him just take off and then just stand there. I think that would have been pretty cool. But again, a lot of people, like we've discovered last night on your show, a lot of people felt let down by Survivor Series, War Games in a whole. Let me ask you, Nick, this segment that we got on this vignette, Maxine and Natty, where are you at on this?
I honestly missed the training.
Oh no!
That was the one thing I missed.
Okay. So basically, if I could have a nightmare.
Oh wait, doesn't she smack her? Like Natty smacks her. Yeah, I think I read
her. Yeah, and to the point to where she's like, "Can I have more? Can you give me more?" You're getting booze. That's okay. That's okay. But here's where I'm at. If I could have a nightmare of the dungeon, that's what it would be. They represented it well. It was a gritty looking thing. Natalia, Natty, whatever you want to call her right now, she a new chapter for this woman, and fucking I love it. But again, it seems like we keep going back to these people that we
well, she's been doing the blood sport stuff too.
She has.
They've been letting her, so she's been showing, and I gotta give Nikki props that, like a different side of her. Like, I don't know if it was called like she does like the low key legend thing. Is that what she was calling herself in Bloodsport, or there was another nickname maybe that she used? She actually just came out with a book too, Natty. The Last Heart Beating. We actually got a nice gifted copy. Yeah, we got one. I gotta dive into that soon. But yeah, like I agree with you though. I like the aspect that I think we're headed towards a Natty heel turn. Like she builds her up and just to break her down.
Low key legend.
Yeah. I like that idea where they can go with her, and at least if they're going to give Maxine a credible run with this belt to build her up, however, which there was some question on like putting the belt on Maxine anyhow, right? Then someone like Natty is the perfect person to keep her around. She's got a couple matches, like she had that backstory with a girl Ivy Nile. It seems like Ivy might have. Listen, they've been working together so for forever. They were around each other, so they'll probably have a decent match together. At least
people have handlers, man. What do you want from me?
Listen, I think it could give her at least a couple of months with the belt and build her up decently.
She's not getting a belt. Stop.
No.
Dupree.
Yeah, Dupree.
Okay. I thought you were saying they're throwing a belt on Ivy.
No,
have
not
to
yet.
Book a plane ticket. Oh, stop.
Listen, Ivy will have her moment.
See, here we go. Natty would make sense. Please no Ivy Botox face Nile. Man, Ivy Nile, she's getting more pops than she's ever gotten in her entire
Listen,
career.
she will get over.
Just in this chat.
Denial ain't just a river in Egypt, my friend.
Yeah, you're right. It's a guy or a lady in catering that's not doing too much. Yeah, so there we go. I honestly, I love where they're at with this, and
Erroneous on all counts.
I do see what you're saying with the linking of Natty and Maxine. It does give the credibility. And I liked what Nikki was saying in the chat where she said that Natty will take the belt off Dupree, which would be an interesting thing because you can definitely build up a storyline. We've seen it many, many times before of teacher versus student, and maybe student stomping a mud hole in somebody and taking their title. Here we go. We're getting the chat. The chat is blowing up right now. Nikki saying, I recommend watching Natty on Cody Rhodes' podcast. Natty talks about the Dungeon 2.0 and how her and TJ run it. That's awesome. We'll definitely check that in. House is saying, I'm dying for her to show some emotion. Interesting. It's like people have been saying this for a while, Nick. I listened to her on CVV's podcast, and she's the most uninteresting person I've ever listened to in my life.
Wait,
LOL.
That's not nice to say about Natty.
No, he's talking about Ivy. Did you watch that Chris Van Fleet interview?
I can't believe he talks about Maxine Dupree that way. House, that's so mean.
Here we go. Look at this guy. This is what I said, fans, at the very beginning. He's gonna poke the bear. He will poke the bear. So just sit back and enjoy. Yeah, I highly advise going back and watching that vignette. I think you'll like it, Nick, and you'll appreciate the production on it. So right after that leads us into this tag team match. Wow. We had the New Day, and we had AJ Styles and Dragon Lee.
AJ Lee.
AJ Lee. Oh, yes. AJ Lee. Stop. You see, you threw me off because she's back. And now,
I am.
Yeah. But this match itself, where are you at with tag teams? Did you see this match? And did it get you going, Nick?
The finish was awesome. That was very, wasn't it? What was the guy? Bandito in AEW. So Bandito's got a finisher. I forget what it's called, but he does this move where he does a somersault, bounces off the ropes into like a German suplex type deal.
Yeah.
And that gave me kind of vibes of that with like how they springboard and use the ropes in the finish. Yeah. And into the Styles Clash, like using the stomp into the Styles was brilliant. And the way that there's only some, and I don't know that they could do this all the time. I don't think this is a move that you're going to pull off very often, only against select teams and select wrestlers. Like Kofi's the type of guy you could do this on. And like, there's only, I think, a specific body type.
Yeah.
I'm surprised.
I can agree with that.
Yeah. So I think it was kind of like not one off, but a rarity that we'll see that move, that finish being done.
Yeah.
But they could get me interested in the tag division on Raw. It's very weak. Like the tag division on Raw specifically has been awful. And it was, Judgment Day was basically running it. They had no opponents. What happened to War Raiders? Where are they at? You had the Creeds were there, and then the Grande Americano thing happened, and they're like, all right, forget them. Why aren't they involved in that storyline? You'd think that they would somehow be involved. But the tag team division, especially babyface wise, doesn't really have much. So it was very much a thrown together team of Dragon Lee and AJ Styles, because AJ's reliable. But let us not forget, AJ's the only other time he was tag champion in WWE was with Omos. And he's the type of guy that can get over anybody. And Dragon Lee's a great wrestler. So pairing them together is not necessarily just a thrown together team that can do stuff. Now, the idea of what can they do outside of the ring to keep you interested?
Tony G saying they're not doing that move to the War Raiders.
Yeah, 100%.
That's not gonna happen.
Ivar.
Dude, you're hitting in the chat right now with your take on the Raw tag division, and you're not wrong, Nick. This match specifically, I think, really sparks something into the possibilities of the Raw tag division. That ending was phenomenal. A lot of the things that AJ was doing in this match were phenomenal. That Kofi tried to bridge a pin, and AJ flipped him into like he was already sitting, but it was like a power bomb into a reverse pin.
So kind of to that point, right? Like talking about like the tag division, like going back to the Vision stuff with the Mystery Man, right? Like
Mhm.
if it's Austin Theory, more reason potentially. Now I know they were teasing that breakup forever, and they just kind of did it with the New Day just randomly. But hey, maybe A Town Down Under as a face team, because they were getting kind of over together, and putting them back together in some fraction could help build somewhat, the tag division on Raw. It gives you another team to at least work with.
Yeah, I liked their tag team. The only thing I didn't like is WWE rarely used them. Like they
Hmm.
weren't featured in a lot of stuff, and it kind of sucked because you had two young, talented dudes who can carry matches.
Yeah, well, yeah, and more well, and equally as important, they carried segments
Yeah,
and like your 5 minutes, right? Like you could put them as tag champions, not necessarily have them in matches, and that could build up some of the other teams in the division.
no, I agree with you. I agree with you. Uh, I will rate this one of the better tag team matches I've seen on Raw in a long time, and they just hit that move. I'm rewatching Raw as we talk. Um, this match was something that really was a highlight of Raw, and definitely, hopefully, we get this again. I would love to see this match again.
Yeah, I think we will. I wouldn't be opposed to though, like at this point, to maybe moving New Day to SmackDown. And like
Could give them new
swapping
life.
some, yeah, like swapping some teams from SmackDown to Raw, like moving the Machine Guns maybe over,
Oh, the
swapping the Machine
machine
Guns with New
guns
Day.
on Raw in with this would be a fun one. AJ Lee
Mhm.
versus the machine guns. Oh god. Yes, here's my money. I know I said I wasn't gonna give you any more money in WWE, but here's some. Yeah, I love this match. Thought it was great. We had AJ Lee, the tag team of AJ Styles and Dragon Lee, getting over on the New Day, retaining their titles. It was a great match. Great match. I enjoyed it. So we did have some talks in the chat about the end of Raw, Nick, and this is honestly the meat and potatoes of what I want to get into
Mm.
with our discussion. Um, on our Sunday show, the house party, I threw it out there to let everybody know that I really believe Liv Morgan, and for all the shit I've talked, for all the rat faces I've made, for all the things I've done and said about Liv,
Apologize.
I am deeply sorry, because what you're doing right now and what I've thrown out there, I've thrown out the idea that Liv is going to be the one who dismantles the Judgment Day. She is going to build up the women's uh, faction in Judgment Day to a point to where they just get rid of the men and go on to their own uh, dominating women's faction. Um, we came to the end of Raw. Now, this match that we seen, um, wow, this was a great tag team match for the women's division. I loved it. I thought it was fantastic. It kept me on the edge of my seat there for a while, especially after what they just did on Saturday in their War Games match. To come out there and put that athletic level on display for everybody just days after that, fucking applaud you.
Mm.
Fantastic. But we had the ending, Nick, and in which we had one of the best tag teams, I think, in the women's division come out with Liv being the coordinator, being the one saying, "Hey, this is what's going to happen." Just
Mm.
destroying, just destroying. Raquel, tell me she didn't look fabulous doing what she does. We got Nikki already. She loved it. Loved the women's main event. We have Nightwing. This is our European
Nightwing.
buddy. And we also had Tony G saying WWE doesn't need 2 sets of tag champs. I agree there. But back to where we're talking. Nick, what was your take of what the destruction that happened at the end of Raw? Where are you at on my take with the Liv idea? And to end it off, where is your mind? Where are you with the whole thing?
So there's a lot of parallels between this was like 2 weeks ago, maybe that, or maybe a month, as far as a month ago, we saw leading up because what I thought the War Games match was going to be with the MFTs and the Wyatts, and you saw basically what I'm getting at is that the MFTs were controlling the whole brand of SmackDown, the whole show, and we're starting to see the Judgment Day get back to that. And that was the promo in the beginning with Liv and Dom was basically there was some possible gaslighting, maybe, I don't know if that's the right term, that she was saying, I've heard how the Judgment Day has fallen off and we're not, where we should be. So there's a lot of that, those comments that she's making. I forget, I'm losing my train of thought of what the right word is, but so her coming out in the main event with the girls is just establishing dominance because she had her interaction with Stephanie Vicaire and Liv's going after Vicaire. And I think Liv's going to be the one to take the belt off Vicaire.
Makes
possibly
sense.
At Mania. Yeah. And so to me, there's a lot I like about this in the sense of, first off, the women's tag team division is taking center stage and it's putting more of a precedence on that and utilizing the star power to do so. So you have, I almost called her, we talked too much about Ivy Nile. I can't believe I said that, but Io Sky,
Yes.
multiple time world champion.
Mhm.
Rhea Ripley, multiple time world champion. Charlotte Flair, multiple time world champion. Alexa Bliss, multiple time world champion. In your main event, competing to try and be number one contender for the tag titles, right? Against probably the most legitimate women's tag team in WWE history right now, right? Since they've had the tag titles, the Kabuki Warriors have won it the most.
Yeah.
So there is a lot of good attention being paid to the women's tag team division, and I like how it also, the storytelling is intertwining with eventually what's going to be the world title, and Liv is setting all that up. So I think there's a lot of seeds being planted that I can see your point happening where she could have her own face heel, but female led faction. But I could also see a point where, and I firmly believe this because adversely, AEW is very much a faction oriented company. WWE has always been single star oriented, and they want to build up the single star. What better way to do it than have Liv Morgan use all her craftiness, all of her cunning to bring down this whole group tier by tier? Everyone who forgot about her while she was on, and play the long game en route to winning the world title at WrestleMania. That would be a megastar arc for her.
Dude, you are on my ship and we are going to better lands, my friend, because, and like you're saying, House, yes, the imagery that we've seen, the dominance that we've seen, what we're about to witness is going to be one of the best storylines wrote for the women's division ever so far. It's going to be. I'm telling you right now. And I am not a Liv Morgan fan. Look, Roxanne Perez is so young. And all she does is sit back and absorb all of this. Look who's around her and she gets to learn from every week. It's so much.
So
Go ahead.
I love both angles, but here's why I don't think it's going to end up with Liv leading a faction. You have so much built in with her and Roxanne, right, and Raquel, that you already have theoretically, if she breaks down this group in the next couple of months and potentially wins the Women's Rumble or wherever to get to Mania, then she wins at Mania. Then you have building up to her and Roxanne, right? Because Raquel is the buffer in between her and Roxanne. Raquel and her already have great history. You can give them 2 matches, 2 months worth of matches, then get to Roxanne and eventually potentially hand the belt off to Roxanne at that point in time. And you've made 2 new stars.
No, I completely agree with you. I think that formula works very well in the men's division. But we're speaking of the women's division. I have twin daughters. They shared a womb. They love each other. But from one day to the next, I don't know if they're in the same faction. And I think you could play this way because Liv will get rid of things that threaten her quickly. And when you get to that point where you have Liv versus Roxanne, you're going to want Roxanne as your face, correct?
Nah.
Oh, if you're going to get Roxanne any type of leverage to her get a title and jump with,
No.
I need her as my face.
No, I think she's better as a heel. It's easier to be. And Liv Morgan, think about how over Liv Morgan already is.
Yes, but she's Steve Austin over. She can play face or heel.
Yeah, I don't think Roxanne can play a great face at all. That's what I worry about. Like, I think Roxanne is good as a heel. And if you made a build me up, how are you building up Roxanne as a face other than unless she starts doing some high flying stuff, some Daniel Bryan, like, David and Goliath type matches? I don't know.
Yes.
I know. You know how I feel about that.
Yes. No, I hear where you're going. But and I don't know what world, what dimension I'm in for me to say this next thing. Liv Morgan plays such a great heel that I think she can make a Roxanne face work very well. And we don't need her to be face forever, just in this match. We need her to get it over. Get Roxanne to where she's at the top. And now Liv has to climb back to get to that, because tell me nobody loves a chase. Everybody loves the chase. Yeah. I don't know, Nick. I could see where you're coming from, though. I definitely can see where you're coming from. I guess mine's more of a...
well, the chase works better for the face, though. Look at Cody Rhodes. Like, Cody Rhodes is a great example. Like, more than 2 years worth of us following him because he was the face chasing the title.
True. But I think with Roxanne, you can do the chase with her as a face, get that title on her, and then do a massive heel turn right at the end of that. Because I see, this is how I see it. I see Liv kicking her out of the group that she builds. The fans being like, "Oh, poor Roxanne. Oh, we need to get her going," and she's like doing all this thing. It makes Raquel conflicted. She ends up overall deciding with Roxanne over Liv. There's your little angle with Raquel. And then once Roxanne gets the title after she beats Liv at a Mania, let's agree it'll be at a Mania. Then she turns on Raquel. That same night, as soon as she gets it, just goes instant heel. Like Minute Rice, man. I'm just saying it could be a play to get there where you would prefer her. So basically it works in our world for both of us.
Oh yeah. Agreed.
But we're not in the writer's room. So what the hell do we know?
Right. One day.
One day. So where are you overall with Liv coming back and what we've seen her done? Not what I've guessed what she's going to do or what others have guessed what she's going to do, but where are you at?
So far, I mean, her return was great. It was very unexpected in a lot of ways because everyone expected maybe her to return at Rumble. A lot of the angle. Yeah, like it's a great play. Like they've had a lot of plays on like how she's like again the Cena heel turn. It's a nice callback to it and how she turned on him. Um, and yeah, like from where she's at, she has to continue to play the inside game. That she's in the group, she's happy to be in the group, she was part of this, and she's going to build the group up. Now, it's curious to see how far they get built up, but I like how they build her back, because the only other angle that could have happened is like war games, right? Like women's war games. But where would you put her in that she would have had a big moment?
Yeah, that's hard.
Yeah, like her and Dom, her helping Dom, like
Yeah.
that's the moment we wanted to see, and the whole angle of what I don't know about you, but like I thought of immediately, ironically, like the Jade Cargill Naomi situation of like Jade came back at Elimination Chamber and beat the ever loving crap out of Naomi, and you knew who her attacker was. And it's just like, granted, it wasn't like we didn't see anything per se with Roxanne and Dom, but like it was just like she came back and presumably knew, that Dom was playing games, and like just that hint, everything that was kind of led up, it gave us that seed of doubt of what was going to go on.
Yeah. Again, though, making Judgment Day interesting.
Yeah.
Every podcast I listen to, everybody I know who follows wrestling, we've all been trying to predict Judgment Day's downfall, and they don't ever seem to do that. They seem to just collect more people and get better. When
There's one way to end it. It's to bring Edge back.
Well, that could end it. Yeah, that definitely could end it. And there's a lot of speculation. A lot of people are throwing it out there. I don't think it was Edge under that hoodie. Definitely, he would not climb that fast. But again, we also have had the thought that they planted someone under there and they're going to use someone else. So hopefully there's a likeness. Wouldn't it be funny if it was Hangman? I know this wasn't about it. She's not referencing what we're saying, but what the fuck if out of nowhere we see Hangman Adam Page on fucking WWE doing cowboy shit?
You've been, some people have been putting like Moxley. It was the mask man. It's like, come on. It would be nuts though. It would be nuts. Like, talk about like changing the industry, like to see that, like, but they would never. I mean, Tony Khan is such a bitter person. He's such a bitter person.
Yeah, I don't see that one. I don't see that one. I mean, you can never say never. You can never say never.
But to your point about the Jericho thing, to go back to the beginning, he came out with a tweet today or yesterday, basically saying about how TNA just had a pay-per-view or just a live taping, and it was inside of a small arena, and the arena looked, because it was a small arena, it looked packed, and it sounded great, and he's like, it looked like there was thousands of people in that arena, and it sounded great, it looked great for TV, and he's like, that's what it should be about. It reminded him of the old ECW arena, and how AEW was kind of like that, and AEW should have. So he kind of took like a shot at AEW.
Yeah,
and AEW should have done with those arenas. So a lot of people are saying, I think it's inevitable he's coming to WWE.
Yeah, and there's been him saying that that's where he wants to end his career is WWE.
It's on his list.
It's on his list, and we all know about that list. Yeah, I think it'd be interesting. I like WWE, WWF with Jericho. I think they did his character very well, way better than WCW could ever do. But that's where I fell in love with him, was WCW. But yeah, I could see where he's coming from with what he was saying about the smaller arena, and how that was basically AEW's hook. Like TNA had the 6-sided ring back in the day. That's how you knew it was.
Nikki's saying it was weeks ago, but still, my statement still stands. Whatever.
Man, she's keeping you honest in this chat, man.
I know, because now she's not live, so she can Google all this stuff.
Yeah,
fact check, like real jerk.
Oh, you gotta love it though. So don't worry. She doesn't go to production meetings. So whatever you come up with in the production meeting, good luck, Nikki. Hold on.
Exactly.
All right. So overall, Nick, where were you at with this Raw? Good Raw, bad Raw? Where are you at?
I think solid. Again, it's. I thought there might have been a little bit more, to it coming off of a PLE, like maybe more in terms of like maybe revealing the mystery assailant, versus dragging it out. Again, a little shocked. Um, Perhaps the LA Knight won and that the finals gonna be Gunther Knight,
Me
but
too.
I mean, this is a typical of what I expect from a post normal PLE Raw, like in the sense of you're gonna get some continuation of the big storyline ending the PLE, but nothing too major. You're gonna get
Okay.
maybe the next number one contender, some big challengers, and that's kind of where we're at, which is exactly what we got, right? Braun Breaker's the next number one contender. You had a couple of really, really skilled matches of people that weren't on the card. And that's what we got. And but yeah, I thought maybe there'd be a little bit more substance storyline wise
Okay.
to this, but I like where they're headed because it was definitely centered around rebuilding the Judgment Day and Liv Morgan, which was the big storyline and the big takeaway from Saturday.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you completely with your sentiment about this Raw. Um, wasn't huge. We did get our we know who's going into the finals for the last time is now tournament. Um, Again, we got to see they definitely took the rub that the women got in that Cena match on War Games, and they ran with it on
Mhm.
Monday Night Raw, and that's what we could expect. So for that storyline, wise, I thought this was a really good Raw. I enjoyed it. I loved the matches. We got a great set of tag team matches. We got great tournament matches. So yeah, I was happy with this one. And like you said, played well. It was a good dessert to the war games that we had. So pretty stoked for where Raw's at. Definitely checking out AEW this Wednesday. Gonna go check them out, and you guys should stop in here at IYH on Wednesdays too, and I'll let you know a little more about that. But Nick, thank you most
Yeah,
of
my
all.
pleasure, man. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, no worries, man. This was fun. This was a good conversation. It flowed just like my actual co-host for the weeks that we do. It was very comfortable. I enjoyed it. We got through a lot. We actually
Yeah,
broke down Raw like all the way.
love
We didn't have the three topics to talk about. So yeah, that was uh a great time, man. So I want to thank you for that, and also want to give you the platform. Let anybody know where they can find you, what you got coming up next, and what you're looking into.
Yeah. Well, thanks again for having me. Yeah, Nick Teodoro is the channel here on YouTube. Nick Club Wrestling Happy Hour Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern time with lovely Nikki, who's in the chat here, and myself, my wife, just breaking down WWE, AEW, maybe a little bit of TNA here or there. But yeah, it's a call-in show. Everyone's welcome. Share your opinions. You want to hear from everybody. But yeah, definitely. We got some stuff coming this week. We should have some special guests, so check out the channel on that. But yeah, looking forward to it. And again, thanks for having me, Josh. It was a pleasure.
Oh, no worries. You're welcome anytime. IYH is on your screen, man. Just let us know and we'll definitely get you in on something that we're talking about. I mean, I don't understand why people want to listen to us, but we do things, I guess. We say some things. For me, my friends, the next time you'll see me is tomorrow night. It's the Wednesday. And the Wednesday, you know what that brings? That brings adult animation. It's the animation conversation. That's where me and House we watch cartoons and we invite you to join us. It's like this show. It's only an hour long. We give you some of the main points of whatever we're watching, talk about it, walk down memory lane and discuss some things. And then we watch cartoons and we laugh and we giggle, and it's a fun time. You should come over. It's like a slumber party, except you can't stay over. Mom said no, so you got to go home. Outside of that, there is a ECW watch along that I do. That's where me and House, we sit down and we watch. That's it. ECW. There's blood, there's fire, there's tables, there's barbed wire, there's really cool guys that I really adored when I was a kid and was like, I want to be like that guy. And then you find out, like, oh yeah, there's a lot backstage that you don't want to find out, but you want to be at the ECW watch along. That is at 6 p.m. every Thursday night. Outside of that is the house party. That's a Sunday house party, and that's where everybody in IYH who's available, we get together and we talk wrestling. Usually that week of wrestling, we cover it all. We talk about WWE, TNA, we talk about AEW. We do what Nick does, but we do it on a Sunday, and we don't have any of our wives with us. They don't think we're cool, and they don't like that we like wrestling, at least on camera. Do it. Yeah, well, they won't. We've pitched the idea to have the wives of the round table with us. But
their first wrestling wives club.
It would be fun. It would be fun. We tried to get them when we did our first actual live show at a place, but they said no. But that's a fun time. And also, always remember, if you click all of our stuff and you get the notifications, you're going to find out when the conspiracy show comes on. I know it's on a Saturday, and I know we keep saying, hey, we're doing one, but things change. My co-hosts, they're in a completely different state, and sometimes things happen. Even on my end, I have kids, they do shit. So Saturdays, 8 p.m. is when we do it. Click the notifications, sign up to everything we do, and you'll know when we go live there. That is the free range show. Anything you want to talk about, anything you want to say, that's where to say it, my friends. And that's where we have some fun. It's me and Viking Storm with young Jamie herself, Luna, and we talk crazy. We talk any conspiracy that you could come up with. If we can search it up, we'll talk about it. The next ones that we'll be doing again are the cult ones. So stick around. Click the notifications, click all that stuff, and you'll know when we go live with that.
First one is Taylor Swift.
Taylor Swift cult. Yeah, I don't want to go down that way. The Swifties are vengeful.
I know. That's worse than any governmental thing you could ever put out there.
Dude, Mossad's like, I ain't even messing with the Swifties. they get out of there. But fans, it's in your house, and that's what we do. We talk wrestling, we talk crazy stuff, we talk anything, and we bring our friends in with their communities, and we hope you guys enjoyed it. Steven, Nikki, thank you guys for joining us in our chat. OG Tony, you're always a gem. House, you're the boss. And this is IYH. We will catch you on the next one. That was Nick Tadero. And we will see you next time.
Later.